What's up, YouTube? Hey, you gonna sneeze in my face. This Ziggy, y'all. Ziggy two-faced and he's spoiled. Look, Ziggy only come with me because he think I got food. I said, come on, Ziggy, come on. If I don't have food, come on, Ziggy, come on. He won't come. But once I got food, see, he think all this is this stuff he don't like. This is celery juice. I got my noni juice. You know, stop it. Stop it. And berries. This ain't no real food. He think it's food, so he want to come. I may have to take a pause and take him upstairs because when he realize he ain't getting nothing. Look, you ready to get down? Yeah, get down. You ready to get down? Huh? Get on down, Ziggy. Get down. Say hi to the people. Say something. That's his way of saying hi. Anyway, y'all. Oh, he don't want to get down. He want to stay up. So let's see how long he'll stay up. Hey, y'all hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦, y'all. 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗡 been shying away from shooting videos, man. So 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗡 update. Important message. And get honest. I guess she gets honest about her life and her struggles. So this is the latest that I seen. My team has sent this to me. This was uploaded 16 hours ago to YouTube. That don't mean she shot it, y'all. So I don't want y'all to think that this is new. But it's new to me. I ain't seen it. So y'all hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Tell them to check it out, Ziggy. Say, let's check it out. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Thumbs up. Always hit the thumbs up. Here we go. Okay. Hey.
And we're back with a long-awaited 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗡 update. I know in the last 𝗟𝗡 video I posted, I said I was no longer going to cover or share her live streams due to the character assassination and smear campaign being run by a convicted felon called 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 or something like that, and her narcissistically abusive bio mother. It seemed that any type of attention that was being brought to her at that time was just fueling the fire. And after reaching out to 𝗟𝗡𝗡 and some of her people on how to curb some of the harassment, threats of violence, and other disgusting conversations these two sick individuals were having in their joint attack against 𝗟𝗡𝗡 and her adoptive mother, with various links and timestamps so that 𝗟𝗡𝗡 could pursue legal and or some other type of actions against this. Although I didn't hear back from 𝗟𝗡𝗡 herself, I was basically told to F off back to YouTube by some of those in her sphere. And although I'm sure they were just on high defense and in protective mode for 𝗟𝗡𝗡, I did just that. And explained it all more in the last video, being that I was one of the last with a sizable platform sharing her story and speaking in her favor and at her defense. I was a little bit offended, but I do believe their hearts were in the right place. They were likely getting a lot of BS being thrown at them from different directions, and all were on high alert, probably not really understanding who I was and where I was coming from.
I thought he was one of the good guys. That's why we go to his channel a lot. This man honestly talks and shares the videos thinking he helping. Like I think I'm helping. I don't understand. Y'all help me to understand. Golly.
And it seemed to me at that point that adding any fuel to the fire on either side, whether in defense or offense, was heavily incentivized. And many were taking advantage of it for monetary gain. And although I had dug up a ton of dirt on this clown guy about his 10-year prison sentence for armed robbery, his lengthy history of abusive behavior towards women, including stalking and harassment, to give any more attention to the situation and to feed the trolls was not going to do anybody any good. I will link a deep dive video I'd found about this individual, his former online presence, and full history in the description, if you'd like to do some more of your own research. If anything, it was just one great big distraction from the overall message that 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 was trying to send for this last 5 years or so, that there are crimes against humanity and children happening right under our noses, hidden in plain sight, and that there's no end to the suffering unless we all wake up and start asking the right questions within our own communities. Although at this point, it seems the chaos and disruption to the overall cause has finally died down, but Ali has yet to post any new livestream updates. This has many concern about her, and I'm getting more and more questions about her in the comments and during live chat sessions. So we'll go ahead with a brief update about what Ali has been up to since, how she seems to be doing to the best of my understanding, and followed by a special video segment with more information from Ali and Shelly directly. A couple of weeks ago, on February 15th, 2025, Ali turned 31. And with all things considered,
31.
It's not only a miracle, but a blessing that she's still with us. She's not only been fighting for the truth, she's been fighting to survive. You already know that she'd been forced to go on the run, and during what used to be her regular updates, she was dropping names, calling out major players, and confirming what many of us already suspected. That the entertainment industry, the political world, and the elite class are all interconnected in one massive machine of exploitation and control.
And
since then, she's been targeted, silenced, impersonated, and yet she's still here. And that alone is worth celebrating, birthday or not. As of now, Ali is still active, still fighting, but she's had to move carefully. She has been posting new documents and updates in her Telegram group, which is the main hub of where she's been going live, dropping files, evidence, and first-hand accounts of who is involved, what's being hidden, and how the system operates. But not only was there an organized cyber attack against Ali and Shelly, people were impersonating Ali, using her story and her trauma to push their own agendas, collect money, and twist the truth. On TikTok, Instagram, and Telegram, there were fakes popping up and pretending to be her, asking for donations, and diluting the real message with noise and confusion. Every whistleblower in history faces the same tactics. Discredit, distort, distract, and Ali is no exception.
Right.
Between the fake accounts, manipulated leaks, and outright censorship, we watched the attempts to silence and dismiss her in real time. Ali was not only allegedly victimized by Diddy and associates, but was working to expose the entire network of human traffic jams and the heinous crimes against children that plague our society. If you've been paying attention, you know Diddy is not the only one. And if anything, he's only a small fish in the sea. Through her testimonies, with supporting evidence and documents, there are many more involved than most can even fathom. Some of them are politicians. Some are Hollywood elites. Some are powerful business moguls. So if you truly understand what she's up against, you can better understand why she's begun facing such brutal and merciless attacks against her character and story. Because this goes way beyond Ali Carter, and she wasn't the first to stand up and use her voice, nor will she be the last. This is about the system itself, about how the machine protects its own, while destroying the people who try to expose it. This is about traffic jam networks that run deeper than anyone wants to believe. It's about whistleblowers being erased, discredited, or worse. And most importantly, how they keep people asleep. They flood the internet with fake accounts, so you don't know what's real. They twist the truth, alter documents, and control the leaks, so they still control the narrative. They smear the real whistleblowers, making them look crazy or untrustworthy, so people won't listen. But so long as you have your eyes wide open, you can see through it. And now, the following presentation is an older segment from August of 2022, but it's one that many of you have likely not seen before. This is a roughly 30-minute segment where Ali and Shelly explain more about the trauma-based programming Ali had experienced, the long-term effects this has left her with, and more of a personal, real-world glimpse into their lives before everything reached a dramatic peak. It is very informative and applies to the majority of complex trauma survivors. So please keep an open mind and do more of your own research on these matters.
Hi, I'm Allie's mom, Shelly. In a few weeks, there's going to be a series released called Allie, All of Us. You're going to see some things in there that are probably going to shock you. You're going to hear some things. I wanted to take a minute before that comes out and do a kind of a PSA, a public service announcement on behalf of the survivors about how to treat survivors, what it is you're seeing, and how you can best support them. I really hope everybody can grasp the fact of what's happening here. The 90s Nation News are everyday people who have homes, jobs, that are pitching in to get this information out. Why? Because most of them have sat with us, with Ali and I, at some point in the last 2 years. Most of them have met some of her alters, and most of them have been shaken to their core and are willing to do above and beyond as it should be, to do what's morally correct. Nobody's coming to help. It has to be us. So when you see the series come out, when you see things happening, please fight the temptation to think that everything is fine, that people have made a career out of what you're doing, what you're seeing. That's not the case. People are volunteering their time because we're facing crimes against humanity, against the children. So everybody is doing what is morally correct. What is the moral thing to do? They're volunteering their time. So don't get lost in that TV mentality. We've all been conditioned in that way. So please fight that. Don't go down that road, because that'll be detrimental to the children. Please understand that there's been no money changing hands. This is what people have stepped up to do because they've seen the truth. In the very beginning, you guys were seeing the things that had happened to us. You had seen that somebody had jumped our fence because we went live. That was our only insurance at the time, was to turn the cameras on. When that happened, many of you started contacting people that you thought would help. You started contacting the truthers, the organizations that are supposed to be helping, because that's the normal thing that we are raised to do. From there, you saw that nobody came, nobody was helping. People that sit behind a camera can do an interview, but they're not prepared to do anything past that. I already knew that because I'd already been down all these avenues and all these roads. For the past 12 years, I've been knocking down doors, contacting people. I already knew the outcome, but the world needed to see the outcome because we don't live in the world we think we do. There's so much information that we have to share with you. It's hard to get it all out. And I don't know how to make you understand that. Probably if I handed you a book, a schematic of how to build a spaceship, and handed it to you and expected you to build it, you wouldn't even know where to start. That's kind of how it feels. There's so much information. In the past 2 years, we've tried to go in some kind of an order for a specific purpose and a specific reason. And here we are now. Every time Sally had an interview, I know a lot of you were excited and thinking there was going to be help afterwards. There was going to be some kind of a resolution. It was just an interview. That's the end of it. The reason we're doing it like this, the reason the 90s Nation News everyday people stood up, volunteered their time, was because the information has to get out to the people. People have to know what's going on, who's involved, so they can stand up and fight.
There's 90s angels close by, and it just trying to have like a slightly peaceful day before things get started and before we film. So that's always nice. It's been a really peaceful day and a peaceful time through all the crazy shit. Get off the phone for a second and just be. They just went into a store. But it's like witchcraft and sage, and there's cauldrons in the window, and we good. There's a lot of incense and stuff like that. I can't really go in those stores because they make me sick, and my head hurts, and it triggers things, and it triggers programming. And witchcraft spells and voodoo spells and other things that were set in place already. So we'll stay outside.
Most of us have preconceived notions from TV and from the media and from books and stories of what culture or DID look like. DID is dissociative identity disorder. Previously was called multiple personality disorder. Ultra learned how to weaponize DID and create slaves using ultra programming. Most of us have probably seen the movie Split, Sybil, other things like that, where it depicts somebody transitioning from one personality to the next. Oftentimes it looks like this big grandiose thing, kind of sometimes like the Hulk, ripping off clothes and doing all kind of crazy stuff. That's not really the reality of that. So as you're watching and you're learning about what's gone on, what our government has done, what's gone on to the children, what's still happening to the children, I want you to wipe your slate clean of anything that you think you knew about any of those things, any notions that you have, because when you do that, it enables you to learn and to be a support to every survivor. There's survivors all around you. We're going to go over some do's and don'ts. Number one, don't try to read survivors. Don't try to read which altar's up. A lot of times the notion is to bombard them like every few seconds. Who's up? Who am I talking to? Who's up? Don't do that. Just interact with them like you would any other person. The more you are around a survivor, the more time you spend with them, you'll be able to learn the different personalities. But you don't need to inquire of them every few seconds. Who's up? Who am I talking to? That kind of gets annoying. I'm sure some of you have probably been with people that every few seconds, are you mad at me? What did I do? Did I do something wrong? After a while, that wears on you. So don't do those kind of things. Just treat them like you would any other person. In this war for the children, each one of us can do something. When Allie's series is released, you guys can all do something, whether it's being kind, whether it's being supportive, whether it's sending a prayer. You guys can all do something for the survivors. There's millions of survivors everywhere. Bullying, shaming, mocking, making fun of, discrediting. Those are all things children in elementary school deal with quite prevalent nowadays. Don't let that happen to the survivors. Make a hard line that you won't stand for anybody shaming, mocking, harassing, making fun of any survivor. They've been through enough.
Or you can make a harder line and don't let nobody do that to anybody. Anybody, not just survivors. It's not even a kid. If a kid is being bullied on the playground, it's up to you to make that stop happening.
Won't stand for anybody shaming, mocking.
Instead of pulling out your cell phone. Here we go.
Don't let that happen to the survivors.
Don't let it happen to anybody.
Make a hard line.
Make a very hard
you won't
line.
stand for anybody shaming, mocking, harassing, making fun of any survivor. They've been through enough. They've been through more than enough. They've never had anybody stand and support them. They've never had anybody that they can trust. They've never had anybody come to protect or defend them. This is our time right now to do those things, to stand with survivors. So if you see somebody attacking them, belittling them, mocking them, take a hard line on that. Don't allow that. We have a Telegram page. And we have a zero tolerance policy. Nobody's allowed to be rude to survivors. You're just not. So take that stand and support survivors in any way you can. You're going to be able to meet some of Allie's altars. I want you to understand the sacrifice that is. Being that transparent is really hard, number one. Number two, it's really dangerous. Every altar that Allie has, every altar that every survivor has, was created through trauma. And it's often not just one trauma, it's hundreds and hundreds of traumas on top of each other. Every altar that you meet has more than one handler. They have more than one programmer. They have many. Each altar has many handlers and many programmers. For them to speak up, for them to make themselves known, puts a huge target on them. That's not something I want for my kid. That's nothing that she wants for herself, but it's necessary. Too many secrets have been kept for too long. Too many people have been kept in the dark that would rise up and fight against this injustice. So it's necessary to show you guys what everything looks like.
Video diary, take 3.
What's that for? I'm sorry. Video diary, take 3. What the heck is that for? Really? We shooting a movie now. No, I'm just playing, y'all. But it's cute. It's cute, though. You know, hey, we're going to do it like the pros do it, right? You don't even want to use that because Hollywood is the ones that's messing with people. Don't do it the Hollywood way. Do it your way.
Necessary to show you guys what everything looks like.
Video diary, take 3.
Hey, just since we're on the subject, yeah, I'm just playing. I'm just joking around. But you see the colors from the green, yellow, all the way down to the black? Them colors mean something. Yeah, so those are the true colors that you set the computer to also. So maybe they need to set maybe they got to set what they using, a cell phone to record this or something? I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing. Here we go. Take 3. Yeah, we focusing. Yeah.
I don't know how people are going to react, but I'm scared of how people will react. I'm scared of the backlash. We're going to be in so much more danger after because we're just poking at everything. And I don't mean poking because everybody messed with us first. And I ignored it a lot. And I just tried to blend and I just tried to act like it didn't happen. And I really am sorry to so many of my friends and so many that dealt with things with me and still are dealing with things because I was so quiet for a while and I didn't know what to do. And I had to take a minute to get clean and deal with everything. So
Take your time.
I don't know how people
take your time.
I don't know how people will react and I don't know what to expect, but I can't believe we're doing this. And I pray that people just get it or try to. The backlash will be insane. The people who change their script will be insane. I don't know. It's exhausting. There's no more secrets. There's no more secrets. We're going to stop holding secrets for the military experiments that have been done and how guilty they are. We're going to show you what that looks like. I can't believe I'm going to, but we are. I think people should know. It's time for people to know what that looks like. And culture is real, and it's deeper than people think, and it's more than just basic book knowledge. When you actually deal with the survivor day to day, it's a lot. When it comes to dissociative identity disorder and meeting my alters, I don't know. I am going to. We've decided that you guys can meet a few. It's just like giving ammunition to someone, and it's scary. And I can't believe we're doing this, but we're doing it because it needs to be done. It people need to understand because there's millions more survivors. There's millions of other survivors that need you to understand what this is like. So that way, if you do decide to try to help them, you don't hurt them by trying to fix them or something like that.
Something like that.
So I just think, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm scared. Because I know that there will be nowhere to go after. And there are many 90s angels, and I know there's an army, and I'm going to keep my promise, and I'm going to send this army back towards the people who need them the most.
Amen.
That takes our dying breath. That's what we do. But people need to decide whether or not they're going to take a stand, what side they will stand on, what side they choose. No matter what, you need to take a stand, because if this is not a political issue, this is not a religious issue, this is not a race issue. Everybody that has to deal with trafficking, torture in this life is black, white, brown, Indian. It don't matter. The political reference, red and blue, guilty. If you are Christian, Seventh-day Adventist, Catholic, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you believe in. We all can agree that this shit is wrong. So I don't understand.
Facts on that. Oh my
I never thought that people would get this far and listen. The question is now is will they stand?
This is our time.
Ziggy is Putin, y'all. I'm trying to keep him here, but I'm gonna have to take him upstairs. He Putin. Here we go. Here we go.
Get this far and listen. The question is now is will they stand?
This is our time to be selfless. This is our time to put somebody else before ourselves. This is our time to stand with survivors and do what's right. Most of us didn't have that ability when the Holocaust was happening or when black slavery was happening, because most of us weren't born. We weren't in a position to do anything, but you're in a position to do something now. So I'm asking you to stand for survivors. The Bible, 1 Corinthians 13, the Bible gives us a template of how we are to be for survivors. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is long-suffering. Love is unconditional. If we do those things, if we put survivors before ourselves and just love them with no expectation, we can change the world and we can put a stop to this. So brace up.
Amen.
You're about to see some things that are probably going to connect a lot of dots, that are probably going to blow your mind in a bad way, in a very sad way. I've been in a unique position to see it from a mother's perspective, to see it from an everyday person's perspective, to see it from a Christian perspective, to see it from a social worker's perspective, and to see it for somebody who's in the field of psychology. This is like the biggest kept secret. The field of psychology downplays this information. They don't diagnose when they are kind of backed in a corner. They often misdiagnose, they mistreat, they misprescribe things for DID, etc. The field of psychology, when I graduated in 2011, was teaching that it's a very rare condition, and it's not. It's very, very common. It's a trauma response. If you have trauma, it's a trauma response. There's going to be so many people that have DID and ultra. It's gonna really shake the world when that truth comes out. They've done a lot to keep things under wraps. One of the 90s angels works with at-risk people. And she was noticing DID, and she had wrote lengthy notes about what she was witnessing and what she was noticing, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to document what you see. You're supposed to document your objective findings, your subjective findings. So she was documenting those things. When she went back later, after she had been told she was crazy and she wasn't seeing that, they had removed the notes out of the chart. That's illegal. Why would they do that? Why did they try so hard to keep this under wraps? My hope is, number one, that survivors will be seen and validated. They've suffered in silence. They've suffered alone. They've lived in the shadows because there's nowhere to turn. There's nowhere for help. There's nobody to trust. Most of us have had people in our lives that we can trust, our parents, our brothers, our sisters, aunts, uncles, grandparents. Survivors don't have that. They've never had that. So my hope is, number one, that the world will see and begin to see them and open their arms and welcome them in and stand with them. If you're in the field of psychology, I'd like to challenge you to push back against the status quo. When we're being trained, we have the ethics pushed on us a lot. Make sure you do ethical things. In this situation, the morals and the ethics don't line up. I had to choose. And I chose my morals. What was morally correct in this situation with Allie? If you guys are working in the field of psychology, you're the last line of defense. And what I mean by that is psychology has been corrupted. It has been corrupted to get a hold of any survivors, any DID, and shut it down. We revere the greats, Freud, Skinner, Erickson, all those guys. But we never stopped to think about the fact that they were doing human experiments. They were child rapists. They were doing very evil things. We are taught in the field of psychology to hold on to our ethics. Everything is about ethics. But there comes a time when your morals and your ethics don't always line up, and this is one of those times. If you are in those helping fields, this is your time to stand up. Pay attention to what you're seeing. Err on the side of the survivor. Oftentimes we're told we don't treat that. It's not a thing. You get shut down. They don't teach you about it. They don't allow it to be. But it's very common. It's a trauma response. If you have to push back, if you have to stand up, if you have to be the only one saying what you see, then please do that. There's no great money to be had off of helping ultra survivors or DID survivors. There's no money to be had. There's no medication for it. There's no expensive treatments for it. It takes hard work. It takes great patience. It takes building trust, and that's timely. Nobody wants to do that because it takes too long. It's not an easy fix. Well, we have a world full of survivors that need help desperately, that are being misdiagnosed, that are being medicated when they don't need to be medicated. Stand up and do the right thing. Hold on to your morals. What you're going to find out soon about.
I thought we was going to be able to make it through this whole video, but I got to take him upstairs. So pause. Come on, Ziggy. You ready to go? Say bye, Ziggy. Look, say bye. You got to go upstairs, Ziggy. Say bye. Bye. He stink and he ready to go himself. So hold on. Ziggy couldn't make up his mind, so I made it up for him. He wanted to stay, but he kept. Oh man, he wanted to go outside. He didn't want to stay in here. He wanted to go outside, but he wanted me to stay outside with him. I said, Ziggy, I got work to do. All right, here we go, y'all. Here we go.
Ultra.
Okay.
Is that every step and do the right thing. Hold on to your morals. What you're going to find out soon about the Ultra is that every survivor has an internal system. There was an internal system created for them. I can usually tell where people are at in their journey of understanding the evil that's been done by the questions that they ask me. When people get to the point where they're asking me questions of what do they see on the inside? What are they doing on the inside? Where did they go? Then I know people are almost at the end of their journey where they finally have it. Like everything is clicking and they're understanding. Programmers have created hundreds, if not thousands of altars in most every survivor. They have created a whole internal system, a whole internal world. the complexity of it is mind-boggling. When a programmer is creating altars and they're creating the system and they're traumatizing the child, and when the child is about to split, they create the altars. When they're doing that, they program the altars to not be seen, to not be noticed, to not come forward unless they're called or triggered to come forward. The old saying, children are to be seen and not heard, very much applies in this situation. Each altar is kind of tucked away in different places until it's time for them to be used for whatever it was they were programmed for. So for Allie and the other altars and the other kids to be coming forward and speaking out boldly is a huge deal. What you have to understand is that Allie and Riley and Teller and Reagan all have different programmers, many programmers. They all have different they all have different memories. Some of their memories overlap. So when they're coming forward and speaking out, that's a huge deal. Like it's a huge deal. Every time we turn these cameras on, it's also a huge deal. Because every programmer, every encryptor, every stitcher that has had an evil hand in programming Allie sits on the other side of this camera, or sits on the other side, and they're watching. They're calculating. They're seeing which altars are up, and they recognize them. They don't have to call out their name. Programmers recognize them. That makes a big threat. That's dangerous. Because they're the ones that programmed. They know how to do evil. They know how to trigger. So please understand what you're going to see puts a huge target on Allie and the other kids. It's not something that we wanted to do, but it's necessary. We are in a grimy war, and it's very necessary for you guys to see that.
People say that I'm the more logical one. I feel like I'm the more logical one. I take care of every damn thing. So, and here.
You're the manager in there.
So when there's complaints, oh no, because like someone did. They complain to me. I had to fix it. So I think, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. I think that it'll be.
Oh, I thought that was a real duck.
It'll be interesting to see how it goes because.
Okay, people are in the duck.
when we say everything, I think people are going to get really angry and it's going to be weird and it's going to be worse than the first time we went viral because there's no more secrets. Well, a lot of secrets are coming out. God, we got so much more. There's so many secrets. There's too many secrets, countless. I don't know what's going to happen after we do it all, though, but I think people need to do something for the millions of other survivors. That's the whole point. The whole point is to see that there's millions that need help. I think everything that we've been able to say to people and give them our facts and our experiences and our stories and our bullshit, like it's easier to see that there's too many similarities everywhere else. There's other people that are going through the same thing. So
when you said millions of altars or millions of people?
Millions of people, millions of individuals, survivors that have been through traumatic experiences, human trafficking, traumatic experiences. Everybody has something, a hell that they got to grow from. Everybody does. So, I mean, no matter what people have, people need somebody to have patience with them and to know how to treat them. Like, Mom, you had that patience with me. And I wasn't patient with anybody before. I was a shit to everybody. I never had patience for any damn body. I'm still working on that shit now because I still have patience. I hate people. I like our people. Our tribe is great. I hate people because I didn't have patience before. But then after mom showed me what that patience is, then it was like, oh, a lot of people need that. A lot of people need that. So it matters that people do their research and know what's going on and not be so focused on the stuff that doesn't matter, and see that a lot of people need that patience and that kindness, and not to fix them. You don't have to fix everybody. You just have to try to have some patience for them. Like, as a special needs teacher, that was my thing. I can't stand when people are like, well, they have a disability, they can't do it. What you mean they can't do it? You don't have any freaking patience for them to be able to show them that they can do whatever they want to do. You just have to have some patience with them. Just because somebody is traumatized and broken doesn't mean that you have to fix them. They need somebody to have some patience and kindness for 2 seconds. So that's what matters. So we'll see what happens.
There were many times when I took Allie for help in the beginning, only to be told time and time and time again that she was out of the scope of anybody's practice. She was too much. They weren't trained that way. They didn't treat that. It got to the point where there was nowhere for us to go. Do the right thing. Stand with survivors.
Everybody is doing the best they can to help people, to pray for people. Everybody is doing the best they can in their own lives. If we stop for a minute to try to help others.
Thanks for watching, guys.
In any
Once
kind of
again,
way.
I should mention that links to Allie's website and Telegram group are in the description. If you'd like to keep up with whatever updates she and her team are giving directly, I've also added links to the 4-part documentary series this segment was a prelude to. You can also find links to the Eyes Wide Open Telegram group, to my Patreon, where you can find bonus and other content free to all members, as well as my other socials, where I post and share anything and everything related to the great big elephant in the room. I'm consistently searching for the common denominators of truth regarding the deepest and darkest rabbit holes known to humankind. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side. Yeah. Most of the time I try to, especially the people I like, I try to play their videos out throughout the whole so they can tag, what they want to say, their message that they want to say. And more people can hear their message and probably go to his channel and actually support him. So I really like to do that. That's my way of helping people. Even since I'm taking a video off his page, to me, it's almost like stealing, right? I guess. But anyway, do the best you can to help other people. Do the best you can to actually be nice and extra kind to people, and try to instill this in your kids. Try to make an example to do this so others can see you and follow you. That's the only way we can conquer this. Now, there's been people, you have to remember, there's been a lot of people that have a little bit of money. Like me, I tried to reach out to Allie and them. Was like, my idea was like, y'all can stay here with me. Nobody would tell y'all. Nobody would know that y'all here. Just give me some exclusive. I mean, you don't have to sit here and record, because then people know that you're here. You can be in an undisclosed room and we do a Zoom call or, Facebook time or whatever you want to call it. just some, if you need some help. But here's the thing, y'all, and I said I brought that up to talk about help, is because when somebody's traumatized, you can't come up with an idea to help them and they supposed to accept it. They traumatized. You have to help them in the way they will receive your help. That's the only way, man. You got to think about that. They traumatized. Well, I tried to, I had a friend of mine who was hooked on drugs, some deep, heavy drugs, and somebody gave him some money. So I tried to help him. I gave him some money, and he just used my money to get high. Well, hell, he's a drug addict. What you thought he was going to do with it? Take the money and buy a suit so he can go get a job? That's what you thought he was going to do with the money? What you thought he was going to do with the money? You got to help people the way they want to be helped. You can't just help. Here you go, man. I help you. I give you $200 or $500. Or I'm going to give you the money to go get yourself an apartment. No, you got to go get the apartment and ask them, do they want to stay here? Here's the keys. Nobody else will be here but you. Do you want this? And I don't want my own apartment, because you have to, well, where do you want to live at? And wait for an answer. Okay, let's do that. Whatever the answer is, okay, let's do that. I want to live right here in this box on the street. Okay, well, I think the police might bother you, other people might bother you. It's no locks on your box. So, but okay, I help you that way. And that's what all these people with these doctor degrees teach you. They teach you. Sometimes you got to help people their way. Look here, man. I'm going to get on up out of here. Hey, become a patron. Our Patreons, you can help us to help people. We are feeding people. We have a fundraiser called Feed, and we go out and feed different people from all over the world. So we are setting up now to do a feed at one of the ladies that work at the YouTube channel, our YouTube channel. Is going to feed the classmates that's in her son's school. Some of them are poor and they don't eat all every day. So we're going to bless them some type of way. So check out our Patreon, man. We asking for donations as low as $3 a month. And you'll see all the background videos and all that type of stuff. You know how that go. I just uploaded 2 more videos. You can contact me on Facebook, because I'm posting a lot of personal videos of me jogging and exercising on Facebook. So anyway, look here. I'm going to get on up out of here. Hey, y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.